Yes people, how are we? Back with another episode. Slightly different environment we're in today. Very excited for this. So as I said in my last video, I've moved house. I'm now based near Stoke-on-Trent and I'm here today at one of the gyms I'm going to be training at, the incredible Destination Gym. So this is only my first proper week of training. I moved 10 days ago. Last week, I'll be honest, I was just coming to the gym and like trying bits out. There's a lot of kit in here, there's a lot of really good kit. So sort of finding my feet, starting to get my wheels turning in terms of programming, how that's going to change, if it needs to change. So yeah, today is a back and bicep session. My overall training has changed a little bit. So I was doing 4 sessions, I'm now trialing 5. And the simple reason really is my shoulder's feeling better, so I feel I can get more work done. But also with the sheer amount of kit in here, if I try and do this in 4 sessions, I'm never going to leave. So my split now looks like this. It goes posterior on a Monday, chest and tries on a Tuesday, and I can now do a good amount of chest work. Still fairly light, but a lot better. Rest on Wednesday, legs on Thursday, back and biceps on a Friday, and then delts and arms on a Saturday. Again, because I could do more shoulder work. It also allows me to hopefully get a bit more actual total volume in on my arms, which, as I've always said, probably need the most improvement. So super excited. Today I'm going to take you through, like I said, I've not done this session before. So in my mind, I know how it's going to run. You know, I always try and keep my programs quite similar because I know what feels good, I know what works. But obviously with the kit in here, we're going to have a bit of fun and yeah, let's get into it. Right, so as I like to do, starting with a single arm movement, single arm row. Now this is the actual Nautilus pin loaded one, which I've never used before, but obviously you'll know from when I trained at Muscle HQ, they had the plate loaded imitation, which was super light. I've seen some people on here and I've not seen them using a whole lot of weight. So I'm starting light, what I think should be light anyway, and we'll find out. But this is going to be the interesting thing today. I'll probably do a million sets trying to find what weight I should be using, but it's all part and parcel of it. Like I said, I couldn't really be much more excited. The house move, the new gym. I don't like to say it, but life's looking pretty good. Feeling naughty. So Nautilus definitely hits different. But the first thing I did on this, I think because I'm quite long legged, I nearly sat right off the back of it. But that felt really good. Oh, good start. Oh, you know about that? It's quite, not to be big-headed, but I'd say on machines generally, kind of can work the stack quite well. Now this is single arm, but like I'm 2/3 of the way down, which I'm really happy about because that means I've got a third over the next year to progress. Get some big old Derek Lunsford lats. So things aren't going to change too much. Still working for the most part, like a top and a back offset. So that we got 8 reps. And now we'll do a slightly higher rep set, lower weight. Single arm movement to start. the majority of back work I like to do, because you can really, obviously being one arm, you can really focus a little bit more. And also on this especially, like the contraction you can get is fantastic, but not just squeezing for squeezing's sake, contraction under load. So get this locked in already, my back knows about it. Go over and do a bit of heavy pulling, we'll see how heavy it goes, and then have a play around with some more machines. So as I normally do, I like to do a bent over row in like my back only session. Obviously my other, what I'm calling posterior session, now involves my hip hinge with an RDL. I had programmed in my head barbell rows. You guys know I love a barbell row, but what I have been doing is alternating T-bars and barbells. Obviously they've got this T-bar machine here, still loading the lower back, which is why I like it, you know, that overall back development. So just giving it a feel, trying it out so far on a lightweight, it feels good. I feel like the king of the world up here on this platform. Nobody can be taller than me now. So I'm going to hit my top set now. Feels nice. On this one, you've just got to sort of find your feet so that you're not being pulled out of position. I think I found it. Today, obviously being the first session I've run through these movements, obviously I want to train hard. You know, that's why I exist. But there's always the temptation to do more. I'd say do more than necessary when you're finding your feet with the session. So I would rather today be a little bit within my limits, set some solid numbers in the book, and then build from there, instead of getting a little bit excited like a little kid at Christmas and A, struggling to recover from the session, B, setting some numbers that are a little bit sketchy moving forward. So that's a piece of advice I give to all of my clients when I give them a new program. Like the first week at least, really focus on nailing some base numbers with good form, good execution, taking it close to failure, but probably not getting those ugly grinding reps out. And then you can start to take the kind of handbrake off as you move forward. That'll do. Solid 6. I think I like it. It's one of those that, as you get heavier, because you put more plates on, this kind of centre of gravity shifts a little bit, or feels like a shift, or pulls you forward a bit more. But that's working where I need it to. Oh, that's not one you want to get lightheaded on. That's a long way to fall. but that'll make some great content. This is what I'm trying to figure out in my head, where I want it. I thought I wanted to go this here, but it doesn't feel like I wanted it to double arm. So I'm going to try it single arm. If it feels good, I probably won't carry on with it today, but I'll probably do it in my second rotation as the first movement, and then maybe look at another kind of what's that, vertical pull. So yeah, live and learn. This is the whole point of today. I've used this machine like probably 5 years ago when I worked at M10 and they were just getting, Prime was just becoming a thing. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, that feels loads better, but I don't really, sounds lazy as hell this actually. I don't want to do another single arm movement because that takes time. I like to start with a single arm, and unless you really need to work on your back, there's a lot of merit to single arm movements, but if you can get away with doing double arm, obviously half the time, all about that efficiency. So hammer strength pull down instead. It's not your normal pull down. What are they calling it? They're calling it a high row here. Not used this in a long while. Obviously hammer strength isn't necessarily the most optimal with resistance profiles, but on this I want something that's going to take me from a stretch. Obviously with the Prime that was kind of overhead, this is more out in front, so I can actually stretch out and then drive back. I don't overcomplicate it, it's a different angle. I'm getting a stretch and I'll take 2 sets to failure, probably starting now. Nice, that'll do. Yeah, learning on the job. I'll do that next time. Oh, feels good that. I've used this before, but not in a long time, and I always got on well with it. Bringing back good memories. It's like seeing an old friend again. So, another chest supported row. Like, these guys know the crack about good gym equipment. Obviously Prime, everyone knows how good that is. But to really target the back, I think if you can get chest supported machines, it's hard to fuck it up really. You've got your angle, you set the height, depending, you know, if you want to hit your lats more, you want to have your elbows driving down. If you want to hit upper back, you want a bit higher. And then you just go at it. With the prime machines, obviously they've got these 3 pins which affect the loading. Now I've had to rewind my brain because I did a RTS course, resistance training specialist, back about 6 years ago, where we learned all about strength curves, resistance profiles, etc. So here I'm mainly loading the middle pin, which is sort of like the most even spread of load, but I'm also loading the bottom, which means that as I pull back it actually gets a touch heavier, which on paper people would argue that as you get into more of a contracted position you're potentially weaker. However, I'm going by feel on this, and with just the middle pin it felt really heavy there and way too light there. So, you know, at the end of the day you go by feel, because if it doesn't feel good it's probably not going to be doing that much for you. Oh. I'm excited. I've got that real buzz. It's not always about changing your training program, but obviously I've been forced to. New kit, new environment, new home. Yeah, I'm a happy man. So this is the last row of the session. Slightly underhand, which is nice. Again, really allows that elbow to drive down. On this as well, you can get a stretch. But I'll be honest, the most important reason I'm doing this is because this machine is called the DY row. That's right, Dorian fucking Yates. So if I don't look like him in 5 weeks, I'll stop doing it. So that's a wrap. Straight after shrugs, single arm cable curls, 5 sets, pyramiding, so first 3 sets getting heavier and then going lighter. Building to that middle set, hitting that to failure, failure again, failure again. Short and sweet. I've got delts and arms tomorrow, so I don't want to overkill it. Realistically, you could train arms every day if you wanted to. I probably should have done that when I was a bit younger. Maybe I would have a half decent set of arms then. But I'm trying to make up for it now. So yeah, fantastic session. You know, considering that was like a kind of pipe dream in my head before, you never quite know how they're going to feel, how they're going to go, but very, very happy. Obviously with my slight change of split to 5 sessions, I'm not just doing another session and all the other sessions are staying the same. There's a reduction, slight reduction in volume to accommodate for that 5th session, so I'm not obviously kind of compromising my recovery, because as a bit of an older gentleman now, not old, but old enough. I do need to be a little bit more mindful of that, especially as I go into my final push phase, which I'll talk a little bit more about in the change rooms in a minute when we wrap this video up. Right, so like I said, awesome back and bicep session today. That's the second session I've done here in Destination. The delts and arms will be here tomorrow, and the other two sessions I'll do in another gym called Apex, which obviously you'll come across in due course when we hit a session there. But I covered everything in today's session, and as far as kind of an update, obviously hopefully you can tell, like, there is a new lease of life in me. Not that like life was bad, but you know, anyone who's bought a house knows it's not the most kind of stress-free experience. So having that all dusted, having this first like 10 days in the new place, where obviously there's still a lot of settling to do, but we're very settled. Credit to my partner, she's been absolutely unreal. Like, she's pretty much just said, you crack on with training and work and I'll sort the house, and she has been, boom, absolute team player on that one. So I feel great. I'm super excited in these new gyms. You know, it's just a new environment, new kit, new opportunities, and in terms of time, it's worked out perfectly. So we are on Friday today, so not this Monday, just gone the Monday before. I got my bloods done. They came back at the end of last week, really good. So I am starting my final push. It's mad, especially now I feel fucking excited about it. This coming Monday. So I need to work out time frames, and it's still hard to do that exactly because the calendar for next year hasn't been released. But I'm sticking to my original plan of wanting to compete in August. So looking at probably another 16-week push. I'm starting this push at 325. I was 326 this morning actually, but I've been hovering. I was hovering around 330. The house move, and that did take it out of me a little bit. Not because of missed meals, God forbid, but just the step count. Obviously I lived in a third floor flat with no elevator. Moving out, by 9 AM on the day I moved out, I'd done 10,000 steps up and down there. Now, as a 330 pound guy, that takes some weight off of you, and I was wet through. So starting this push at 325, appetite is ridiculously good. I'm settled in my sleep, work is good, training is exciting. So I'm genuinely looking forward to pushing. And I know I'll regret saying that in 15 pounds time when I'm 340 and kind of hardly breathe, but I want this push to be a big one. I want to hit some new scale weight. I know it shouldn't be all about the scale weight, but let's be honest, you guys fucking love it when I'm humping around 340 plus. So stay tuned. That's all going to kick off for Monday. And yeah, let's do this. Final chapter, the final push coming up.